Welcome back to another episode of Vees Views here on Castanet.net. I'm your host, Fraser Rogers, with Fred Harbinson, President, GM, and Head Coach of the Vees. A bit of a down week last week. Haven't seen this really this year yet, but maybe a good learning lesson as well. Maybe we'll start with the finish against Trail, then against Vernon. Obviously, not the finish you wanted against Trail last Wednesday, but then it was a pretty good bounce-back effort against Vernon on the Saturday despite the result.
Yeah, I think it's probably the lack of finish, as you mentioned on Wednesday, that was the disappointing part. You have a team in your home building with only 3 shots in the first, 3 shots in the second. They had 4 power plays during those two periods. So to think that you would hold a team to 6 shots and then not get the win, and that was, I didn't like the way I think we approached in between periods. I think our guys thought the game was over, and we found different. And I think the lesson that's learned is that you go and play a pretty decent game on Saturday, and things just didn't go our way. You end up down 3-0. I think you're up 12-4 in shots. You're down 2-0 right away in the game, halfway through the first, and we clawed our way back 3-1, 3-2, hit the post. Had a couple other great chances. Their goaltender was outstanding, and then they got a late one. And so the lesson to our guys is sometimes. You play real, pretty decent, and you don't get the win, and that's why when you have teams down, like earlier in the week, you better put them away.
Not a terrible thing to go through, maybe as well, some adversity for a group ahead of the playoffs, because that's when those stakes get raised in less than 2 months.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, we haven't had a lot of adversity really here over the last few years. Yeah. Really, when you think about it, and when we had it last year, all of a sudden the season was over, and you don't have to deal with it. I think. Last year probably would have been a situation where a game like Wednesday or even Saturday, you have a couple all-stars will carry you through, and then everybody thinks they played well. Well, that's not how it's going to work. So to me, it's exciting that we're having to fight through this. It might be tough on the fans because they're not used to watching a couple losses at home, but you know what? Let's remember who we are here, and it's a good hockey league and a good division, and we'll find out who our real players are, who our real friends are, who our real fans are. We need everybody to stick together right now because, quite frankly, it's not going to be easy, and it's not going to get any easier. When we play West Kelowna.
You haven't had a lot of full complement of a roster really all season, battling injuries, and you get some guys back now as well. James Miller's back. Jamie Armstrong came back last week. You bring in Taylor Sanheim as well. It seemed like Armstrong and Sanheim haven't really missed a step. One coming into the team, one coming back from illness, and they had an impact on the weekend as well.
Yeah, they both scored goals and both played real well. And in fairness to Armstrong and Miller, like, they hadn't played a game in over a month, so you're trying to get them, back in the mix. So yeah, you know what? Every team goes through it nowadays. There's no such thing as a healthy team. Vernon had guys out of the lineup, and they come in and beat us. The last time we had a bunch of guys out of the lineup and we beat them. It's just, sometimes it's kind of that wounded bear effect where, all of a sudden you fight even a little harder. And so my job as a coach here is just going to, I think we've got enough talent. We structurally understand how to play the game. I have to find a way to make sure that our guys understand the way we have to win this year is by not taking any shifts off. We just don't have that luxury this year. When there's a shot to be blocked, we have to block it. When there's a puck to be cleared, we have to clear it. And when there's an opportunity around the net, we have to find a way to put it away.
Is it exciting, Fred, to see some competition within the team now with guys coming back and getting healthy? And also, you mentioned the West Kelowna team coming up tonight that's won 6 or 7 in their last 8, it looks like. And also a team like Merritt scrapping in the standings as well coming up this weekend.
Yeah, it's a great challenge for us this week because you said West Kelowna has been playing extremely well. You go into Merritt, which is never easy, and then you have Alberni back here on Saturday, a team that beat us early in the year. So competition within our group is something that's needed. It's something that prepares our guys for the next level when they're in college hockey. We talked about it yesterday where those teams, college teams, have 5 lines, 8 defensemen, 3 goalies, and if you don't compete in practice or if you don't get the job done in a game, you might be out for a month.
Fred Harbinson on this edition of Vees Views, brought to you by Castanet. Thanks for tuning in.